Hi, welcome to my platform, Your Bliss Grace with Iyobusa Favor Ohun. Before now, I sent a message out because I often hear single mothers, single mothers, single mothers. And it got me worried, like, especially from the men, single mothers, single mothers. These single mothers, single mothers. What is it all about? And because especially in countries where these women get support, we just feel everybody wants to leave their matrimonial home because they want support. The women, don't your husband support you? Can't you get support from the man you had those children from? For their father is not hardworking, their father is irresponsible. You don't want control. You want to be a lady of yourself. But if you become a lady of yourself, what becomes of you tomorrow if that is your intention? And what about the children? What becomes of them? When I sent out that message, I got a lot of feedback when I said 90% of single mothers became single mothers because they are married or they were previously married to men or husbands that are irresponsible. And I also added that when their children become irresponsible in the long run is not as a result of their mother being a single mother, but they are only manifesting their father's character because you give birth to your kind. And, I keep hearing feedback from men. It's the women that don't want to stay. They said my percentage was too high and all that. But again, even with the percentage the men gave me, it was still quite more than 50%. But they said my 90% was too high. I quite agree with that. And let's reason together, women. What is the problem? There have been cases where young girls get impregnated and they give birth to children. I'm not talking about that. Those of you that don't want to serve God, you run, into men and they get you pregnant and you are out there with your children or with a child. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about a situation where a lady wants to get married and she believes in her heart that, oh, once I just get married, if it doesn't work, I am off. That is, you're already prepared for divorce before you even think of marrying. Marriage is hard work. I keep saying that. Marriage is sweet. It can make you, it can mar you, even in its sweetness. Depends on who you're making your commitment to. If we want to marry as a lady, we want to settle. I quite appreciate those of us that are still there. And if you're no longer there, most of the time, it's not your fault. Most of the time, it's your fault. Because marriage is hard work. If you don't want control, don't think of marriage. If you don't want to take instruction from anyone, don't think of marriage. Don't even go to work. Because life is all about control. Because I got lots of topics to actually talk about. I was going to talk about the controlled man, the unrespected, the man that is not respected. And I said, let me look at this one first before I'll go to the men again. I have in one of my videos defined what a man should be, the kind of man that God actually created. And also, I have also looked at the Proverbs 31's woman. I have defined that also. So if we fit into this category and it still didn't work, it might not be your fault. So what are some of the reasons that will make a woman become a single mother? And what are some of the reasons that will make you as a lady want to marry and you're thinking, once I just get married, it doesn't work, I'm leaving? What's the hell is it? Don't think of that yet, because if you think of that, you're going to get into marriage that will not work. But if you think, I am going to marry, I'm going to have my children, I'm going to make things work, make it work. I know this I'm saying sometimes doesn't really depend on the individual alone, because it's a family thing. Because sometimes you even hear families saying, you can't control my daughter. Marriage is all about control. Marriage, we control one another in marriage. It's just like an organization. For any organization to work well, to work better, there is some level of control. You got the manager and you got the support workers, the subordinates, and we all work together for a common goal. And some of the reason why there are a lot of problems in marriages is because we don't know our roles in marriage. So when you prepare, when you are saying, oh, if it doesn't work, I am off, where are you going? Let's try and make marriage work, ladies. As a lady, what I want to tell you today is, as a lady, there's a bit of control in marriage. You control the man control you, but one control is higher than the other. That is the man's control. There are certain things you cannot do in your father's house, whether you are a man or a woman, because it is your father's house. So as a lady, when you get married, there are certain things you can no longer do in your husband's house. And the man too, there are certain things he can no longer do in this home. But the man is the head, you remember. Whether you are the neck or the heart, and you say without the neck, the head cannot stand. Without the heart, the body cannot function. I don't care. But there is a level of control that you get when you are not married. So if you don't want that control, don't go and tie a man down. Don't go into any man's life. They said, no one marry. I don't quite believe that. There are many that are actually ready still for marriage. But when you are a man that is irresponsible, you don't wait till you become man. You become man before you get married. You have problem. If you are a man that has never used power before, when power gets into your hand, the first thing is you use it to abuse your family. A man that has never used power before, a man that has not been taught how to use power, will first use it to abuse his own family. So if you are a man and power gets into your hand when you get married, there's a level of control, yeah, but we need to wait so that this marriage can work. So tomorrow you don't say, oh, she wants to become a single mother. I will not say there is no woman that don't want to become a single mother. Think of what happened to those children in the long run. You want to have children, you don't want to be married. Why? If you don't want to be married, why think of having children? For God's sake, at the beginning, when God created man, the children were supposed to be given birth to for a father and not without a father. So if there is a man, there is a woman, then we think of married as a man or as a woman. Don't go into the life of a man, because in marriage, there is a level of control. So if you want to have children, you don't want to be married. Children are not supposed to be for the unmarried. They are for the married. But if you're not married, I'm not saying, because the kind of level of control these days is quite really high. The reason is that there are a lot of irresponsible men, just as also there are a lot of irresponsible women. But what I would say, on the man's side, it's quite high because they got the power and they got the control tools and they want to use it, especially if they've never used it before. Now they got somebody under them. You know why there is control in marriage and why there's a lot of problems in marriage? First, you come here from different background. You never knew before. You've never met before. You've never lived together 1 year before. Trust me, grow in the same environment. Date for 20 years. That is not marriage. When you get into marriage, it's different ballgame entirely. So this one will control this one a bit. This one will control this a bit. That will make the marriage go. But where you as a lady, you don't want control, or you want your control to be more than that of the man, you have problems. And in that case, they begin to say, oh, it's you that want to become single mother. It's just that you didn't understand that there's a level of control in marriage before you go into it. And again, if I begin to talk about the man you're getting married to another, go and watch my video on when I say marriage is commitment. So go and watch it and think of the man you're getting married to. Look at level of maturity, because immaturity is usually the result of most broken homes and all that and and a lot of troubles in marriage. Then when there is no role, this is a topic on its own. Roles in marriage. When roles are not known in marriage, there's bound to be breakdown in marriage. Everybody cannot do the same thing. Everybody cannot do different what they just like. There has to be defined role. Otherwise, there will be a breakdown in the system. Then, looking at that, civilization is another issue. And you say, oh, in my mother's time, there were no broken homes. In my mother's time, ladies were controlled, they stay at home. I was in a place where a man got married. Even in modern time, he asked his wife to stay home. And he was able to provide everything. The marriage run well, the children grew up, and the woman has to start doing something. And because I want you to take care of my home, I want you to take care of my children. I don't want to run away in the morning and you are out there. So this time, these days, the woman is away, and you as a man now you wait until she comes, like your parents were doing in those days. You will not do anything in the house. That is another problem. And by the time the woman begins to talk, you say, hey, single mother. And you, the woman, will just say, if you can't do it, I can't take this. I will just take my things and go away. Where are you going? A bit of patience also works in marriage, especially when the two of you are involved. Because when family are not involved, that's quite really, really difficult. That's another reason for a lot of breakdown in marriage today. Because the family, children don't wait to become adults. They don't wait to be matured. They want to get married, all in the name of love. And if you have not heard me say this, the only love that is out there is loving your neighbor as yourself. And in marriage, you as a man, you love your wife. So if you are just saying as a woman, oh, I love him, and you're blind to every other thing, and you get into this marriage and you begin to see that love is not all it takes to marry, all those things that were attracting you, that was making you love this man, is no longer there. You begin to dislove this man. So when this is there, that'll be another problem. So again, independency will make some of you prepared for divorce before you even marry. And I don't want to wait for him for everything. I don't want to wait for, if he says wait for him, if he can, why not exercise patience? Oh, I want to work 37.5 a week. And the man is saying, oh, if you work like this, we're going to have problem with childcare and all that. I don't care. I want to, somebody told me, I came to make money in this country. Just as a man came to make money in this country. Which money are you making now? You have children already. And you want to be man also in the house. 2 men in the house. Then who looks after the children? I'm not saying looking after the children is solely the woman's responsibility, but it's a major responsibility for you. It's a major responsibility. It's a major one. You have to think of it. You have to look at it as a major one. Then again, you, the men, because the society is becoming so tense, by the time you can no longer carry responsibility, you run away. And the next thing is, they are saying is a single mother. Most women do prepare for divorce before marriage. I quite understand that. But also, the irresponsibility on the side of the men has actually contributed a lot to these issues of single mother everywhere. Men are out there that will not want it. There are many things that would have made their wife become a single mother. There are many reasons for their wife to turn single mother, but they stand to say no to it. And you as a man watching me, you can stand to say no to it. And you as a young lady watching me, marriage, there is control in marriage. If you don't want control, don't think of marriage. If you don't want to be committed to him, don't think of marriage. And lastly, don't go and marry a man that you will not respect. Because he will control you. No matter what he is, no matter how he looked, he's going to control you. You will also control him a bit. So watch before you leap. Thank you for listening. I'll be back again soon. And bye.